Hey guys, I have this great card for us today. How cute. Yeah, I mean, so fun. Yeah, I just can't wait. I love the Matterhorn. So that's why I actually designed this card, because I thought a lot about how, I don't know, every time I see this Yeti, I always think of the Matterhorn. I mean, I'm from California, so Disneyland was always my favorite thing. And so, but this is a birthday card. How cute is that? It's a birthday card. And so super fun. So my ears today I got at Box Lunch with, I think I got them with box lunch money, but they made me think of the Corpse Bride. I know they're not Corpse Bride ears, but they made me think of Corpse Bride ears. But anyway, well, I hope you enjoy this tutorial. I have all the measurements and everything on there so that you guys can go along and see how I put it together. And anyway, I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for tuning in. So I have a fun little card for us today using this Yeti to Party stamp set from a couple years ago, but I paired it with the birthday paper that I think is still on clearance in our bin. I need to buy another pack of it if I can find it. It might be gone already. It's called Wildflower Birthday, and it's the one that had all that gold foil in it. I've made quite a few cards with it. I just love that paper. I should buy a couple packs while it's on clearance because I've used quite a bit of it. I can see myself making a few more, especially just because the gold foil. Anyway, so this is the Wildflower Birthday designer series paper, and this is a fun fold. I mean, I'm going nuts on the fun folds right now. So I made a card that with this fun fold before and this Yeti, but it was totally different design, but still super fun. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull out our stuff. I've got our little marker case. I've got it all cut for us so that we don't have to waste time. I'm not sure if that's the, yeah, I think that's the right one. Yeah. Let me make sure. No, this one's too big. And we've got this piece here. Got all our sprinkles. Okay. All right, so yeah, there we go. All right, so for this one, I decided not to make the Yeti 3D, but I wanted to make sure that we had a fun card. So I took a basic card base, and this is 4 1/4 by 11 inches, and I scored it at 5 1/2. Then I cut this piece. This is Pool Party, by the way. And then I cut this piece, and this is 10 3/4 inches. It's a little bit shy of a full page, you know. It's just you know, a little bit shy of a full page, 3 1/4 inches less. So 10 3/4 inches is how long this blueberry bushel piece is. And then I scored it at 5 1/4, and I scored it again at 8 inches. I recommend you score it at opposite. So like first I would have scored this 8 inch, then I would have flipped it over and scored the other. Because technically when you're scoring, you want the little, we say the worm, you want the little worm that happens when you score something, this little indentation thing that happens. You want the dented part to be on your outside and the worm to be on your inside. Does that make sense? And so you don't really want, because if I fold it the other way, it's going to rip the paper. Okay. So folding it this way doesn't rip the paper. It's just the way paper works. So what we're going to do is we're going to add our layer. We're going to, and this is 4 inches. This is actually basically what I did was I made, you know, the 3 layers that I normally make, but I had this left over. Instead of cutting it right here like I normally would, I left this extra piece and trimmed it so that I could have another layer. It's essentially what you're doing when you're making it. I don't know if that helps you or confuses you more, but crafting wise it's what we're doing. But all right, so 8 inches I said, and score it at 8 inches, and score it at, what was it, 5 1/4 I think I said. So we're just going to put this layer in here. Yeah, I want to make sure I gave you the right measurements. So it's 8 inches and 5 1/4. So there's 2 scoring that you're going to do. But that's just a little tip, by the way, for the other. Oh, I am missing a little piece. Let me grab it. There we go. I need this piece. And then this piece, I put a little layer on the outside for to layer this piece and have like a fun little contrast. And this piece is going to be 2.5 by it should be 3 3/4. Yeah, 3 3/4 by 2.5. And I wanted that contrasting. I mean, you could have chosen any other papers in there, but I wanted the pink because I really wanted to pick up. I don't know if you guys can see the pink in that. Sometimes the video, you know, doesn't always capture it, but it's a light pale pink behind all the cakes. And so I wanted to pick up on that pink. But I could have used, you know, the different, you know, there's a whole bunch of different paper in there. I could have used a variety of different papers. I could have even used that mint that matches that one. There's like a mint one, almost like a pool party mint. And whoops, this is moving on me. There's almost like a pool party mint. And there we go. And so that will go there. And then, you know what I'm going to do? Because it keeps popping up, sometimes you just need to burnish it with your, and burnish just means to kind of like, it doesn't mean to crease, but it just means to kind of like add, in this case, it means to crease it, but it's really just to use force against something. They use it with leather. It's a leather term that, I'm full of fun, random facts, by the way, if you guys ever, I don't know if they're fun, but they're definitely random. And so I just learn random things and just, yeah. And, you know, I was an English teacher for a long time. Now I write the books for it, but I still consider myself an English teacher because I don't know, my heart will always be there. So that's our basic card base. And the goal is that it's going to stand up. You know what I mean? So the goal is it's going to stand up and you could have it popping up on your desk. And so let me get a little, and the insert, we're going to add a little insert inside. Oh, you know what I should do to put on the insert inside? I should take one of the flowers from the packet. I'm going to do, because you know there's a bunch of flowers in this little packet. There's cake and all kinds of stuff, and I could stamp. I don't have the stamps that go with this, but I do have, like, I could add a strip of, you know, see, I could have used this mint on the outside instead of the pink, but I really wanted that pink. I like that pink, but I could have used that mint stripe. But you know what I am going to do is I'm going to use some of these flowers. I'm going to put that on the inside of my card. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It's like overload. So I really wanted to use like some of these small ones. So I don't know if I want a baby one. I've got a couple baby ones. Yeah, I don't think I want like a giant one in there. Yeah, maybe I will use these larger ones. There's 1, 2, and I should have one more. If not, we'll use a baby one. Maybe I used them all. And look, there's even a cake piece, you know what I mean? Like, I can make a whole card just with that one cake piece. So I guess we'll use these baby ones since I can't find another of the large one. I think I used it on another craft. So go ahead and gently put these back. I put these in an envelope just because they kept popping out. Because they're good quality, they pop out of the paper very easily, so you don't tear them. There's no ripping. There's no, you know, The only ripping would be if you're not gentle with handling them all, you know. So I'm try to keep them together in this little envelope. So we'll go ahead and we'll set those aside for a sec. Sorry for the last minute change. So we'll go ahead and we'll glue one of these right here on the inside, because I just think that's a fun, I always like it when the inside of a card has a little surprise. That's just my personal opinion. And I'll be honest, I made this card because I was inspired. I love the Matterhorn. The Matterhorn was my favorite ride in Disneyland. I can't ride it anymore because it actually hurts my back. I have back problems, so it actually physically harms my back. So I can't actually ride it anymore. But I love it so much. Like, it's just, I don't know. I have such nostalgia riding that ride. So then we're going to go ahead and take this piece. So this pool party is 4 1/4 by 3 inches, and this white piece is 4 inches by 2 3/4. Yep. And we're going to stamp our Yeti onto this cardstock, and that's it. We're just going to stamp, we're going to color it a little bit, but we're going to stamp this on our cardstock. I had trouble getting it inked up the other day, so, oh no, the cats are fighting. Okay. Can you guys just wait until I'm done before you fight? All right. All right, good. So I've got my Yeti in there. I mean, he's just so cute. I just think he's the cutest. This is just one of my favorite stamp sets. I know it's older, but you know, I just am realizing that I don't have to buy all new products all the time. Like, it's okay to also use older products, because I mean, the idea that it's just one and done is silly. So I need some markers here. I'm gonna definitely use the blue and the, what's this, Pool Party? I think this is Pool Party, and this is, I think I don't want to use, what's this one? This one's Blueberry Bushel, and it's kind of dark. I think I wanted to use a different color. Oh, that's right. I was gonna see if I had, let's see if the yellow or like the crushed curry, let's see what that looks like when it's on a piece of paper. Where's my piece of paper? Guys, enough. All right, we'll just put it. No, that's not the right. This is like a peach. This is our peach color. And so that's the wrong, and it doesn't have yellow. So maybe I will just use a Blueberry Bushel. So, okay. So we're gonna go ahead and color. And I need one more marker. I need to color his face. I need to color his face. I always color it when I need the red. I always color, I want to, oh, I just got red on my hand. Color his little tongue in. And then we'll color his face. I just colored it a Pool Party with, and I'm using, whoops, I need a piece of paper under here. When you're using the blends, you always need a piece of paper underneath. Oh, you know what? That's what I'm gonna grab. Let's get the light. Let's see what this one looks like. Yeah, let's use, no, I don't like that one. I don't think that looks right. No. So we're going to use the light pool party. And he's just so cute. But I kind of like the idea of using this Yeti. Well, and not the stamp set is Yeti to party. You know what I mean? It's for Christmas, but it's also used for so I'm using the bubble bath, and we'll use the pool party regular marker. It's also for Christmas, but it's also for just party in general, which I think, yeah, because this says Yeti to party, it's your birthday. And I think, let's use, I think we'll use the blueberry bushel. I didn't really like that, but now I'm using it, so I don't know. I don't know what else I had in mind, but we're using this. Then we're going to take some glue dots and we're going to add glue dots to his hands, or to the edge of the banner, and we're just going to attach it to his hands. And so you don't have to get too, let me get my tweezers. I'm like all over the place right now. It's because I'm rushing. It looks like the furlough might be over when I recorded this. So, and I think I'm posting this today. So that means I'll be able to go back to work soon, which will be good. But then I guess in January we'll have another furlough threat. So this is just a nightmare. Yeah. And we'll see. Hopefully we'll get our back pay. So, okay. So I just took the glue dots and I kind of bundled them up underneath because I do want it to be a little bit 3D on his hands. And then in order, you know, it's fine technically where if I were to place it on his hands, but in my opinion, it needs a little something. So I have this blue twine, but in my opinion, it doesn't totally match, but I also don't really know. We're going to use the blue because I think the white is too white against the Yeti. He, you know, oh, and I forgot to color his little ears, his little horns. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to use the twine. We're going to tie a little bow and add another little glue dot. Tie a tiny bow. Tiny, tiny bow. Tie a tiny bow. Get my and these are my fabric scissors because when you're cutting fabric, you always want fabric scissors. Look at the mess I'm making. Sorry for the messy desk, you guys. I had everything ready and then the cats were trying to sit on the desk and anyway. So, well, I appreciate you guys watching anyway. All right, so we've got our little bow. I might need to trim it again. It might be a little too big. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna make it a little smaller. It just needs to be really small because it's in his hands. You know, if it's too big, then it looks disproportionate. That's just my opinion. There we go. So then go and add a little bow to the end. So it kind of just adds a little seamless look. You know, again, it's fine if you don't want to do it that way. Other people, they put like a little rhinestone or something at the end. That's another thing you could have done, is added like a little embellishment, like a bead or something to kind of cover up the end, because it looks kind of like it's cut short, you know, because it's not the edge of the paper. And so let's go ahead and pop that down. Okay, good. We're good to go there. And now we can pop him, glue him onto, we can glue him onto our pool party with just, oops, my glue. Hope it didn't get, okay, yeah, it's good. I've been making cards like crazy during the furlough, so that's been fun. I want to keep it up because I actually like it. I'm having a Whatnot show on Thursday for selling my cards and selling pins that I have. I'm not really interested in selling pins as like a hobby or an extra moneymaker personally. It's not really what I want to do. It's just, you know, it's just not my thing. And so I've realized, like, so if I have extras, I'll sell them, but I'm not really interested in doing shows all the time as like extra money. Like, I know some people are super successful at it, like Cara. I follow her on Instagram and TikTok and stuff, and you know, she's changed her life, and you know, she like makes, she was able to quit her job. You know, she did so well, which is amazing. And I know it helped her mom too. Like, sorry, I need to add a little more glue. This is why using the wet glue is good, because it allows you to kind of adjust a little and slide around in case you're a little off center. And so I was just a tiny bit off center. And so we just press it down. I guess I could have added a little bit more glue to the back there, but I think, yeah, we'll add a little bead. There we go. I'm gonna add a little bead right there. I want to make sure this holds on. It was a little too little, a little too little glue. So I needed a little more. Then for our sentiment, I wanted to use the blueberry bushel, and I'm just gonna stamp, is it Yeti to party? And yeah, get Yeti to party. That's it, get Yeti to party. To me, it was so funny. And I always stamp my sentiment first before I punch, because oftentimes trying to stamp onto your label, sometimes it can be like difficult. You know, like I can get this perfectly centered because it's already stamped in there. But if I were to try and stamp down on the paper, it's just a loose little piece of paper. So it's a hit or miss whether it's going to be the right size or not, you know, or the right, if it's centered or whatever that needs to be. So now we're going to add some dimensionals to this. We're going to pop it off to the side. So there are many phases to this little card, but it sure is fun. I sure do love it. And I've got a few cards of this Yeti that you'll see from me. And so I'm going to place my dimensionals on only half of my label, because it's going to pop up. And if I have dimensionals here, there's too many layers right here. So what'll happen is it'll bend, and I don't want my little label to bend. So I think that's pretty good. I need to bring it in, so I think I can put one more. Let's see, yeah, let me move this one. And I can put, I know I use a lot of dimensionals, but I don't like my labels to bend when I mail them. And so that's just my personal pet peeve, is I hate when I mail a card and it comes in the mail, and it's not that people don't appreciate the card. That's not it. I just, you know, if you're going to do all this work to make your card look good, I also want to make sure it arrives in, you know, like, and looks good. Oops. Oh no, it's crooked. It's totally crooked. It's because I was talking. There we go. I think it's okay. Yeah. There we go. And then I had a few, these are just random sequins. This little packet, I found these random sequins. Sequins. And I was like, oh, I should add. I had a bunch of these, and this color, I think this used to be, I think, grapefruit or something like that we had a while back. And I thought, oh, these are, you know, honestly, I've had these sequins for like at least 5 years or more. So these are older. So I thought, oh, I should use a couple of these on this card because it totally matches that peachy color. And I think I'll add one more right here. There we go. 1, 2, 3. I always add it in an odd number. And so that's our card. Nothing too crazy. Like, I mean, it's crazy in that the layers make it a very technically, because of the layers, it's complicated. But as you see, you know, we're done with this card in like 20 minutes, and that's just assembling it. The hardest part is the cutting, because cutting the layers does make that a little bit difficult, but the rest is all kosher, you know what I mean? And all easy peasy. And so there's our card. Let me hold it up a little closer for you to see. So hold up and so nice, right? And then it pops up. And you can actually stand it on your desk because it has the backup easel here. So you could stand it on your desk because it stands up this way in this zigzaggy way. And so I thought, oh, that's such a fun little card, you know? So anyway, well, thanks for tuning in. I hope you have an excellent day. And yay, on to our next card.